Lost in the grind? Feeling stuck? Not sure if alternative living is for you? I'll give you a challenge. Give yourself a year. Put a reminder in your calendar for 1 year from today. In your Outlook or Google Calendar with an email notification. Set an alarm on your phone. If you're still where you are this time next year, no savings, no advancement in skills, still living paycheck to paycheck, not working on those goals that you still haven't gotten that promotion or that high-paying job, come back and join us. Let's start a movement. Don't let life slip you by. Boundless Society is about all of us individuals. It's not a cult to join where we give up all earthly possessions and live in a commune and disappear into a stupor of mind-altering drugs. This is about you and your quality of life. Are you overworked, overweight, overstressed, and just plain over being tired all the time? Wouldn't it be great to have time to work on the things that make you happy, perhaps even able to actually contribute to society? And not just a thing to be utilized to put money in the pockets of CEOs. And it's not just putting money into other people's pockets. We're also being taxed by the government for undelivered services. There are so many people who want to give back, who want to volunteer, who want to make art for people to enjoy, who want to write the next great novel, who want to invent a totally new genre of film, who want to make music for others to enjoy, who want to build things and make tools to make life easier and more sustainable, who want to protect and improve the environment. There are more affordable and sustainable ways of living. There is more to life than work. But we get stuck in comfort and routine, complacent in working 5+ days a week for 8 hours or more, while ignoring our health, our loved ones, and our passions. Too tired on our days off to do anything but sink our butts into the couch and watch TV. I'm not a fan of Dale Carnegie, but one of the best quotes I've ever heard was, "What is the worst that can happen? Then prepare to accept it." The meaning for me of the quote, back when I was sick and tired of being sick and tired all the time, doing my best to exercise daily, eat healthy, maybe take a college course here and there if I had enough money at the time, all while working full time, and then feeling like I had no time to do homework or process the material. I had zero time to pursue friendships, a love life, other interests I might have, or to simply relax. And if I was taking a college course, I would only be able to sleep 5 hours a night, if I took a demanding class or a couple, quote, easy classes. So I heard the quote, "What is the worst that can happen?" And I thought about the worst possible situation. So I imagined I was living outside Seattle at the time. The worst thing that could have happened to me was losing my job, which barely afforded me a place to live and food anyway. So I'd be living on the streets that are relatively safe and clean. I could buy a tent and hide out in the woods or somewhere discreet. I had a car at the time, so I could, sleep in my car. I could get food from food banks. I had my laptop, so I could go to the library and study and learn. There are laundromats to do laundry. There are temp agencies who are always hiring people to work in warehouses. This realization changed the way I looked at the idea of giving up my overpriced apartment and buying a van to live in. I had a safe and secure place to sleep every night. I have a gym membership where I can work out and shower every morning. All the money I made from work would go directly to my bank account, not the faceless company that owned the apartment complex. I could even thrive simply off part-time hours. There's a lot that holds us back in life. People would judge me in the gym for being ugly and fat. My friends will be upset if I don't hang out with them and go to bars and clubs every weekend. My family will be upset if I don't help babysit or visit them, whatever it is. People look down on me and think I'm a piece of shit for living in a van. I'd be quote-unquote homeless. I had a friend whose dream was becoming a director, and I was thinking he probably thinks this is childish and silly himself. But being one of those people who went from out of shape to in shape, who went from running 1 mile if I really forced myself on a jog, when I could force myself to go outside and actually jog, to eventually running half marathons, and I even ran 30 miles on a single run for my birthday. Do you know what I thought about all those people who would join the gym in January just to quit in February? Annoyed. But not because I'd have to see a disgusting person. I would be upset they were not serious. All these people would flood in, taking up space and equipment I needed to get my own workouts done. A surprise to most people is we start getting in shape by looking up to athletes like Arnold Schwarzenegger and characters like Rocky. But once we are actually healthy and athletes in our own right, we get more motivation out of seeing people starting out from the beginning and sticking to workouts. Even though it is fucking hard, and even though they don't want to show up, even through the wanting to quit, change is hard. It is a death to our old selves and our old stories. It's painful both physically and mentally. Even actors, the people we see on TV and movies every day, we hear about, the drama in their lives. Actors are surprisingly insecure in a field where very few people succeed and has a lot of people who choose drugs and self-elimination as an escape. An amazing quote from Gary Oldman, an incredible actor for movies such as Dracula, Batman, Harry Potter, The Fifth Element, said it best in an interview with Esquire. What other people think of me is none of my business. Acting is living truthfully under imaginary circumstances. The only people who are really judging us is ourselves. And you are probably mentally where Shore and I were ourselves at one point, stuck into thinking that we need stuff. To start working out, we need workout clothes, workout shoes, eat nothing but broccoli and chicken. But ultimately, all we need is the time to do it. Eventually, when you start making time to take care of your health, you begin to want to start taking care of your mind as well. So you'll throw in learning another language. Maybe you'll pick up that paintbrush hiding in a dark drawer or a guitar that's collecting dust in the corner. Take your list of goals, your passions, your dreams, begin to make them a reality. But if this time next year you're still struggling to get one of those started, or this time next year you have started pursuing one or two of those off your list, yet realize there is more you want to do and more you want to do with your life, you may begin to see what we see. That an 8-hour job isn't that much in a 24-hour day, but only if it were actually 8 hours. You add in the time it takes to get ready in the morning commute, the additional 30-minute unpaid lunch, the commute back home, the time to decompress after work, then the errands like laundry and dishes you couldn't do real quick because you weren't able to go home or be home, close to home, Then the cost of having to buy food and snacks for lunch and breaks because there isn't enough time for meal planning. Then after all that, how much time do you actually have for your dreams? It might be 30 minutes to an hour you're able to carve out each day or every other day. That maybe 30 minutes to an hour you're able to carve out each day or every other day for your passions is not enough. Maybe you'll begin to feel the anger we feel and feel the need to change the way we as a society live. Downsizing your life is the best way to begin to change your life and create more opportunities for yourself. But only by coming together can we truly work towards escaping the grind. Together we can actually start having conversations, we can work to purchase properties and land, start businesses, we can even change the laws that prevent people from building and working for themselves. One example is that living, i.e. sleeping in your car, is illegal. A normal and necessary bodily function is illegal unless you pay money to do it in the correct type of highly regulated wooden box. Some city governments like Seattle have seen so many people living in cars, vans, and RVs that they realize that it is beginning to be impossible to afford a place to live. So they have made the building of tiny homes on properties legal for homeowners. And yet, the police constantly harass said vehicles, knock on windows while people are sleeping, and accuse them of being on drugs or up to no good. Putting giant, hard-to-peel stickers on windshields with 72-hour warnings. Vehicles cannot remain parked in the same place on city streets for more than 72 hours, even though they are often moved regularly and there is no evidence that they are in fact breaking any laws. The cops still put those stickers on. And not to mention the harassment of people who just don't like the homeless. You shouldn't be so lazy or get a real job to afford that. Pick yourself up by your own bootstraps. Working 40-hour weeks already, but you still can't afford it? You're stupid and should get a real job. It's a terrible system where any struggle is a failure by you. It's always your fault. You not only failed, but you failed morally. You failed financially. You were not responsible. You tried to do everything right, but still struggle. You didn't do it right. You should have made better choices. Everyone in school told you need to get a job, but McDonald's is not a real job. If you start to feel the way we do this time next year, come back and join us. We are in the works of building a website and platform for us to have discussions, to plan meetups, and the ability to share knowledge and resources. We all have skills and knowledge we could share to help one another, even if it's simply sharing our own struggle. And you can begin to say, I am not alone.